Let me tell you a quick story. The ASUS ROG Ally I used to review games on and make videos for this channel isn't the first ROG Ally I actually owned. As embarrassing as this is, my first one broke. You know those air vents along the top of the device? Yeah, I spilled Pepsi directly into them. The liquid ended up completely frying the insides of the console and stopped the battery from working, rendering the entire device unusable. Yes, I'm an idiot, I know. Thankfully, I was able to return it and swap it out for a new one, so it's not the end of the world. Where am I going with this? Simply put, even if you take perfect care of your handheld, accidents do happen. Whether it's a small knock to the screen, or in my case emptying a can of soda into the one part that can destroy it, no one is impervious to accidental breaks. That's why when I heard JSAUX was making a mod case for the ROG Ally, I had to try it out. I've already got the Killswitch case for the Steam Deck, and that thing has stopped me from causing any real harm to my deck. So the question is this: is the JSAUX version as good as the Killswitch? Is it a solid investment for clumsy ROG Ally owners like me? Let's dig in. If there's one thing I've noticed when reviewing JSAUX products, it's that the little touches really matter the most. Take the top of the Ally mod case for example. The gap where the power button rests is slightly angled, so when you run your finger along the top, you know exactly what button you're about to press. The hole is also perfectly sized as well. I can jam my finger in there with minimal effort. Then there's the charging area gap. This section is large enough to get the charger in with ease, and it's large enough to accommodate the XG Mobile, which is surprising given how niche the XG Mobile is. It'd be easy to expect some companies to completely forget it's part of the ROG Ally family, and just size the gap for the charger and nothing else. See what I mean about these little touches? They're everywhere. Over on the sides of the mod case you'll find a slightly textured grip. It's not as rough and sandpaper-like as the Dbrand Killswitch mod case, which means if your hands get sweaty, it will become more slippery. The trade-off of that is that JSAUX version ends up feeling much nicer to hold. On the back you'll find two sets of upper vents and two ROG logo-shaped vents on the middle back of the mod case. So far my own testing has shown the temperatures remain roughly the same with the mod case on and off. That means the case isn't blocking any vents or affecting heat dissipation in any meaningful way. Good stuff. Moving on, you'll find a kickstand on the back, which I can only describe as a high-tech Switch kickstand. Size-wise, it's on par with the Switch kickstand. But if I'm being honest, that's where the comparisons end. This thing isn't cheap or falls off just by looking at it. It's solid, and at 65 degrees, it's able to hold the Ally up without any problems. So far, it hasn't fell down once. What I found especially inventive about this kickstand is it's got a small little magnet on the inside that causes it to snap shut whenever you pick the mod case up or turn it upside down. Again, it's the little touches like that that really make the mod case feel like a fully fleshed out product rather than the cheap things you see on Amazon for about $5. You know the ones. I only mention this because I've reviewed a few Steam Deck shell replacements where, due to the shell not lining up correctly, the triggers end up getting stuck. With the mod case, there's around 1/8 of an inch around the triggers to ensure they never get stuck. It goes without saying, given the Killswitch is designed for the Steam Deck, it won't fit the ASUS ROG Ally. So this isn't a direct head-to-head comparison. That said, the Killswitch is the single best mod case out there, so it's worth comparing the two to see what JSAUX has and hasn't got right. First, let's talk materials. JSAUX went with a softer grip that feels nicer, but is more slippery in damp or wet hands. If you sweat a lot, that's worth keeping in mind. When I hold the Killswitch, I feel like it would take a severe amount of force to knock it out of my hand, and I don't have that same feeling with the JSAUX mod case. But I'm also less concerned about dropping the device, so in the end, I prefer the feel of the JSAUX version. Along the top of both cases are very similar setups. Both mod cases go with angled areas and spacious gaps. The only major difference is the extra peaks on the Killswitch. It's the same for the bottom as well. If you drop the Killswitch vertically, those hardened peaks will absorb the impact before anything else. The JSAUX case lacks these, so if it lands top down, the triggers or volume buttons could still be damaged. The Killswitch also has a larger and more robust removable stand. The JSAUX version looks nicer in my opinion, but it is easier to knock back in by accident. In terms of the fit, the Dbrand version is also much more snug. When you're putting the Steam Deck in the case, you really have to put some force into pulling it over the triggers. The reason here, I'd wager, is to help with shock absorption. The JSAUX mod case, meanwhile, is much easier to fit in. I didn't need to pull anything with any real force, but I'd also assume it won't have the same level of shock absorption as the Killswitch. Overall, the Killswitch is the better of the two products. However, we've got a massive price disparity in play here. The Killswitch comes in with a recommended retail price of $79.99. You can get it for around $60 when it's on offer though, while the JSAUX Modcase comes in at just $29.99. That's half the price of the Killswitch when it's reduced, and $50 cheaper than the original RRP. That is a huge difference. The way I see it is this. The Killswitch is designed for clumsy people who are likely to drop their Steam Deck, while the JSAUX Modcase is geared towards people who are worried about cosmetic damage and Pepsi spillages. I can't see the JSAUX Modcase offering much protection from accidental drops, but for knocks, scrapes, it certainly will. Plus, it'll make the ROG Ally feel much more comfortable to hold, and the protective shell houses space for micro SD cards as well, so it's more than just a mod case. Should you buy the JSAUX Modcase? I've tried out silicone jackets for the ROG Ally, and while they're fine, I end up taking them off after a while. The biggest compliment I have for the JSAUX Modcase is I haven't taken it off my Ally. It's made the Ally more comfortable to play on, and being able to set it upright when I'm using it in docked mode or with the XG Mobile means I don't have to have an extra stand. I just flick the kickstand out and plop it down. Simple as that. Plus the fact you can pair this with the JSAUX power bank means you get more usage out of the Ally before needing to plug it in. The power bank will add some serious heft to the overall weight. It is a giant battery after all. But it means I don't need to sit near a power outlet all the freaking time. The bottom line is this. The JSAUX Modcase may not be as premium as the Dbrand offering, but out of the myriad ROG Ally mod cases out there, it's the one I'm going to recommend moving forwards and is a must for owners looking for even more comfort. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, that'd be brilliant. Until next time, see ya.